If you just left corporate or you are about to, I want to catch you before you do the next thing, before you open that laptop and apply for another job, because I know exactly what that next thing is. It is the same trap that you just walked out of, only this time it's wearing a different name. One paycheck, one boss, one person somewhere above you deciding your whole month with a signature. I lived on that arrangement for decades. And then one envelope showed up in my mailbox and it woke me all the way up. I will tell you about that envelope before we are done because it really changed the direction of my life. But first, I want to give you one reason to pause before you apply. There is another option, and it is built on the one thing that you already own and that no company can lay off. And I should have known better, honestly. I grew up watching my father run several businesses at once. Money in my parents' house, it came through more than one door. Then I came to America, I got the degrees, I got the job, and I built my whole life on one door, one income. My whole life was standing on one leg. And I just could not see it because the leg, it felt very steady at the time. But right up until somebody kicked it. So let me talk to the woman watching this because I know who you are. You did everything right. You got the education. You climbed the ladder. You were twice as good just to be seen as half as capable. And you still reached a point where you had to walk away or they chased you out for your health, for your family, for your sanity. And some part of you is calling that a failure. It was not a failure. That was your body and your life telling you a truth that your resume could not say out loud. And here's the sentence that I need you to sit with before you rush back. Going back to one income that you do not control, it is not safety. It just feels like safety because it is familiar. And there is a difference. And women like us, the ones with no cushion under us, we cannot afford to confuse the two. So let me give you 3 reasons a YouTube channel beats another application. Not get rich quick, not chase fame, build an option. And I'm going to start with the reason that cost me the most to learn. For most of my corporate life, there were 2 of me. There was Webley, the software engineer, the professional. And listen, in tech, I was almost always the only woman in the room. And when I was not the only woman, I was still the only Black woman and the only immigrant on top of it. And when you are the only, I learned quickly that the real you is extra information that these people did not ask for. So the real me stayed home because at work, the questions, they came with a little something under them, like, what is that you're eating? Where are you from? No, where are you really from? And how did you get here? Somebody even once asked me if I came here on a boat. On a boat. So no, I was not interested in being myself in that environment because my whole goal, it became come in, do my job, do what I'm paid for, get my check, and then bounce. And the costume that I was wearing for this little dance, it was not free either because I had a suit budget. My dry cleaning bill was serious money because a certain colleague, they could show up looking any kind of way and then it would be fine. But I could not. So I paid in real dollars to stay beyond question. And I did everything to keep that paycheck coming. Everything except be myself. So here's reason number 1. This YouTube channel is the first work of my life where the realist version of me is the asset. My accent, my stories, the kitchen table, the exact things that I kept home for 30 years, they are the things that pay me now. So nobody here on YouTube asks me, what am I eating? They ask me, what is the recipe for what you're eating? And reason 2, it is about what you are sitting on right now without even seeing it. After my layoff when I was home with my baby, I lived a season that most of you will recognize. Running the household, raising a child, holding everything, and disappearing a little more every month. So people think that a stay-at-home mom sits around and eat bonbons. It is a full-time job with no clock out. And there is no line on it that says me time. I even tried the safe thing again, a position in academia, and it lasted 3 months because the old cage, it does not fit once you outgrow it. So, you know what saved me in that season? I made my own time non negotiable. So, when my baby was taking a nap, my partner got home and I was out the door going to the gym. And it was not selfish, it was survival because a woman who never gets to be an individual is no good to anybody, including her child. And in that little protected hour, I got room to dream again. And here's where the dreaming went. I started and became a certified fitness instructor. Then I got my personal training certification and I got my nutrition certification. And I started training people for cash at the public park. No gym ownership, no studio, no boss. I was just a woman and a skill that somebody would pay for. Was it glamorous? No, but it was grocery money, it was diaper money. And eventually I started teaching Zumba classes at several fitness clubs. And honestly, the free gym membership, it was half the perk. But understand what actually happened here. The first time that my house grew a second leg, it did not come from a job application. It came from something I already had inside me, offered directly to people who needed it. And that is exactly what a YouTube channel is. Except the park is the whole world. The weather is always good. And the video you make once, it keeps showing up to work forever. Your layoff, your starting over, your caregiving, your survival skills. Another woman is living your hardest chapter right now, tonight, searching for someone who made it through. Nobody can out research you on your own life. You already paid for this product. The tuition was your life. And if this is your first time at this table, subscribe and stay with me because this whole channel is a woman cashing in 30 years of lived experience out loud at 51 years old with the receipts on the screen. Watch me do it and then go do yours. And I have not forgotten about that envelope. It is coming. So right after this. So bear with me because reason 3 is what makes the envelope story hurt a little less. So reason number 3, a job pays you once per hour and only for the hours that they approve. A YouTube video works while you sleep. The video I made months ago introduced itself to somebody new last night while I was in bed. No application, no interview, no asking. And doors open that a resume could never knock on. Companies have even reached out to me through this channel. Me, the woman who could not get a call back after her layoff. I did not apply to anybody. They watched and then they came to me. One honest video can introduce you to more people than 100 applications. Now, I will always tell you the truth about the money, so hear this. This is the slow lane at first. The ad money, it starts small. Mine started at $7.31. It was $7.11. And then I gained another 20 cents. And I showed you the screenshot proudly, but it grows. And more important than the ads, the channel, it becomes a front door to your services, to your products, to possibilities that you cannot see from inside a job. So you are not building a lottery ticket, you are building an option that answers to you and pointed somewhere real. The goal is not fame. It is the light bill covered, the cushion growing, the Tuesday morning walk that you do not have to ask permission for, an income that answers to you so your life can too. So before you fill out that application, here are 3 reasons small enough for you to carry. Number 1, a YouTube channel is the first work where the real you is the asset, not a liability that you have to manage. Number 2, your lived experience is a product that you already paid for. The tuition was your life. Number 3, a video works while you sleep and opens doors that no resume can knock on. You did not leave corporate to run back into a smaller version of the same cage. You left to build something with your own name on it. Now, let me tell you about the envelope. After my layoff, it took about a month of paperwork and explanations and staying on hold forever and phone calls before my first unemployment check arrived. So the first one, it had all the back pay in it. So it did not look that bad. But then the weekly checks started coming. And one day I sat there and then I compared that weekly amount to what I used to make. And I remember thinking two things. Number one, this is a joke. This was a joke. And number two, how on earth am I going to make it on this with a child? Because here's what nobody tells you about a layoff: your bills do not change, the rent does not change, your child does not eat less, the diapers do not pause. Everything in your life keeps costing exactly what it costs or more. Only the money changes. And I kept this front up the way that mothers do. We still went to a farm to buy a real Christmas tree that year because I did not want my child to feel 1 ounce of what I was carrying at 6 months old, really. But inside I knew. Inside I knew that the house was on one leg. The leg was gone, and I was at the mercy of a check that could not carry my life. So that was the day that I understood that I did not have a job problem. I had a one income problem. And a layoff, let me say to the woman in it right now, a layoff is a trauma that nobody talks about enough. It is a domino that knocks everything in your life. So if you're stressed and foggy and can barely think creative thoughts right now, there is nothing wrong with you. That is what that domino does. But when the fog lifted even a little, I stopped asking, who will hire me? And I started asking, what do I already have? The first answer was a park and then some workout equipment. The latest answer is this YouTube channel. Same question, same woman, better tools. So do not apply yet, my friend. Build the option first. This is not a risk. This is the second leg, and that is the second birth. Now, if a YouTube channel is the option that you keep circling around, I made you something free to get you started. It is called Press, Record, Ready. It is a workbook that takes you from thinking about it to actually ready to record, your gear sorted with what you already own, your phone figured out, your first decision made. And it comes with the 5-angle flip, a little tool that turns one fact about your life into your first 5 video ideas. The link is in the description, and it costs you nothing but an email address. Then I want you to tell me in the comments, if that first YouTube check came tomorrow, what is the one thing that you would point it at? The bill, the fund, pay off some debt, the plan, your blow money, name it. Name it where we can all see it. And I read every single one. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Webley. I'm 51 years old, and I'm standing on more than one leg now and building the rest out loud every single day. And I will meet you back here tomorrow.